General session today is October 19th, 2021. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Crowley.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. As a reminder, this is a public meeting and is being recorded. For those of you calling in, please ensure that you have muted your phone line by pressing *6. Thank you for your cooperation. Before we begin, we've got some recognition around Stormwater Awareness Week. Present some resolutions. I do want to take a minute to take a moment of silence for Colin Powell. You know, in politics, all too often, we know that there are two major parties and then there are other parties, but in the two major parties, there are often differences that play out on the political court field or whatever every day. But every now and then, a politician comes along or someone in politics comes along that transcends one party or another. You know that they represent the values of America. You know that they represent the everyday values of everyday people. And I really believe that's what people like Colin Powell stood for. You know, I didn't agree with everything that he said and all the positions he took over the years, certainly the people that he worked for. But I believe that he was sincere and authentic. I believe that he cared for this country, and I believe that he made decisions that were in the best interest, what he felt was in the best interest of the greater good of the masses. And that, to me, is something that I can look up to, something that I can aspire to, something that I can believe in. And I think that's what most of the American people, I think that's the way they saw it. I'll share just really briefly my one Colin Powell story, which was, you know, when we had the, Commissioner Grady will remember this, when we had the opening of the Vets Memorial, or the museum.
National Veterans Memorial Museum.
The National Veterans Memorial Museum. And Colin Powell came in for the event, for the opening. And it was a rainy day, and so we were over at the museum, and we were walking across the street where they had a stage set up to do the actual ceremony, if you remember, John.
Oh, yeah.
And so we were in this green room, and we were going to walk over, but it was raining, and Colin Powell was with his wife. And so, I had an umbrella. I said, General Powell, would you like my umbrella, so you can, cover your wife? He said, oh, thank you, young man, I appreciate that. And he took my umbrella, and he walked across the street with his wife, and he was up on stage, and I think we were like in the front row in the audience. But we all walked over together, we sat there, and there he was on stage with all the other dignitaries, and there were my umbrella sitting right under his lap. I'm like, man, Colin Powell used my umbrella. Wow. And so the ceremony ended, and they're taking him to his car, and he still has my umbrella. And I'm like, wait a minute, Colin Powell is stealing my umbrella now. Colin Powell has my umbrella. And then I thought, yeah, Colin Powell has my umbrella. He took my umbrella, and I never saw that umbrella again. But I'm thinking that one day I'm going to be in some, shrine museum of his, and they're going to have all his artifacts and different things there, and I'm going to see my damn umbrella right there. And so that's my Colin Powell story. And again, I just appreciate people in politics like him, that he was with a certain party, but you would never know. I really believe most of us would say that he represented the values of the American people, the masses, and we need more of that today. And so I don't know if my colleagues have any other thoughts to add. If not, we'll just keep going. But
So last night, my daughter asked me if I had ever met him, and I told her, we got to say hello to him that day. And, all I could think was in the 60 seconds that, I was with him or around him, he was, exactly what you would think that he would be from all the many times that you saw him on TV and that you experienced what, you would have he was just a gracious human being, you know, and we were only with him for a brief amount of time because there were so many people there that day. But he just came across as very genuine and very gracious, and it was an honor to get a chance to meet him.
Yeah, I would agree. That was sad to hear he passed.
I didn't have an opportunity to meet him like you all did, but I did serve under him. I was in the Navy, so one, I want to thank him for his service to this country. But as I served active duty in the Navy, from 2000 to 2003, he was the Secretary of State, the U.S. Secretary of State from 2001 to 2005. And so, obviously, I served under George W. Bush. And so, to your point, you would never, even though he served in a certain party, his policies and politics and his views transcended that. And I do agree that I think everything that he did with a genuine heart and for the most people trying to do the most good. And so very sad to hear of his passing yesterday, but his service will always be indebted to me. So thank you.
At this time, let's take a moment of silence and reflection for Colin Powell. Thank you. All right. In recognition of Stormwater Awareness Week, which is October 17th through the 23rd, we have a guest with us, Jennifer Fish, Director of the Franklin County Soil and Water Conservation District. Welcome, and please share with the residents what they need to know about stormwater and what the residents can do to help. Ms. Fish, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
There she
Thank
is.
you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, commissioners, for joining communities statewide to support Stormwater Awareness Week, as well as for your support for conservation efforts year-round. We are so fortunate in Franklin County to have many miles of beautiful rivers and streams to enjoy. But protecting these rivers and streams involves, and improving water quality, is all about using the land wisely to soak in the rain. So this week is Stormwater Awareness Week. This is a great time to plant native plants or native trees to soak in the rain. Local nurseries are having some great sales right now. Just ask them which plants are native. With the fall leaves collecting on lawns, it's also a good time to consider, instead of bagging them, mowing them over if you can, to break them into smaller pieces. That helps fertilize your lawn and build topsoil. Healthy lawns with 4 to 6 inches of topsoil soak in twice as much stormwater as lawns on subsoil. And the reason we're concerned about soaking in the rain is because as the rain falls onto the land, if it runs off the surface at greater quantities with urbanization, it carries with it pollution and a lot more runoff, which creates stream erosion and flooding in our streams. So wherever we can, looking for opportunities to soak in the rain on the land. We also have events this week throughout the county, including there's a virtual after-school program today called Rainfish at 4 o'clock. And there's a tree planting with Friends of the Lower Olentangy Watershed at Sawmill Wetlands on Saturday. If you want to do more by planting a rain garden, installing a rain barrel, or participating in a community event, you can go to our website. Probably the easiest way is just to Google Franklin Soil and Water Stormwater Awareness Week, and you'll see an opportunity to take a pledge, events that you can attend, and lots of information. If you take a pledge to support Stormwater Awareness Week, you will be eligible to win a rain barrel or other prizes.
Well, Ms. Fish, thank you so much for what you do every day. You're in one of those unsung hero jobs, because this is truly core to our quality of life. And thank you for the advocacy you do. You know, Central Ohio, we're facing a housing shortage, affordable housing shortage, so that we know we're going to be doing a lot of building over the next several years, and we've got to be thoughtful about when we build, creating more impervious surfaces that create challenges for our stormwater runoff. And I know I see the county engineer is here. I'm sure he'll have something to say and certainly want to offer you the opportunity to say something if you want to, Mr. Engineer, but, you know, we've got to be thoughtful about that as we begin to build those 50,000 units of affordable housing that we're short of today. And this is something that we're going to have to really be thoughtful about, or it will be a serious problem, not just to stormwater management, but to our quality of life, and that's important. Mr. Engineer, you want to add something to this? Thanks for coming up.
Yes, thank you very much. I'll start by saying that my name is Cornell Robertson, honored to serve as Franklin County Engineer and Stormwater Awareness Engineer for every resident every day, AKA Drainage Engineer. I'll just be clear on that. But thank you very much, President Boyce, for opportunity to join in with Director Fish, who stated it very well. We all know that stormwater infrastructure is vitally important to public health, safety, welfare, and the environment. And so, working with Soil and Water Conservation District, the engineer's office, we are working very hard to inspire our 1.3 million residents, leaders such as yourself, and even ourselves to protect and improve our stormwater infrastructure. And you all have been great partners. I feel like we've made great strides in regards to drainage over the recent years. It's being recognized. I feel like we're more proactive versus reactive, but there's more work to be done. And I say thank you.
Thank you so much for those comments. And again, I think it's, you know, it says I've been to a number of communities that just aren't, that's not a discussion point for them. You know, they don't have a soil and water conservation district that helps guide some of those planning strategies. So again, thank you. We do have a resolution. You're here virtual, so I can't present it to you, but we'll present it to you virtually. And I won't read all of it other than maybe the first and last whereas. Whereas under stormwater runoff impacts, water quality in Franklin County needs regional awareness so that we can all do more to preserve the county's natural resources. And then the final whereas, it says, whereas the development and implementation of effective outcomes-based stormwater education and outreach programs will meet the related federal stormwater pollution control requirements and those of the communities they serve so that Ohio continues to be a great place to live, work, and play. And so with that, we want to encourage all of our residents out there to do what you can, do your part with regards to stormwater, all the things that Ms. Fish talked about. And any other comments from my colleagues before we?
Great work. You guys do great work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us, Director Fish. And then we will mail you this resolution out today.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your support, and we will do everything we can to improve our water quality.
Thank you. Have a great day. Okay. Is there an approval of the minutes of the October 12th, 2021 general session and the October 14th, 2021 briefing session?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded in voting, Commissioner Crawley,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Thank you. The minutes have been approved.
Thank you. First is the engineer. Okay, we have a public hearing. Can the clerk please read the public hearing notice?
Plans approved for the improvement of Rural Road, County Road Number 235 at London Groveport Road, State Route 317, Madison Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
Okay, I'd like to open up the public hearing for this resolution. Is there anyone here in the audience, present or virtually, who would like to speak on this public hearing? We have no speaker slips, so seeing that there are none, I would like to close the public hearing and have the clerk read the resolution into the record.
Resolution number 80721. Plans approved for the improvement of Rural Road, County Road Number 235 at London Groveport Road, State Route 317, Madison Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
Thank you, Commissioners. Again, my name is Cornell Robertson, Franklin County Engineer and Drainage Engineer. This resolution is for the capital improvement project in the southeast part of the county in Madison Township in the area of Rickenbacker at the intersection of Roar Road and State Route 317. This is a cooperative project including Franklin County, City of Groveport, a local developer, Ohio Department of Transportation, and the Franklin County Transportation Improvement District. This particular resolution is for the approval and signature on the plans by your board. In doing so, that will allow us to schedule the project for construction and competitive bid opening. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
There are no questions. I move to approve Resolution 80721.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 80721 has been adopted. Resolution number 80821, Report 9th of the Franklin County Engineer establishing sums of compensation for a portion of the owners of property abutting the Elliott Road and Hayden Run Road Drainage Improvement Project, Brown Township, and Washington Township, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $34,512.
Commissioners, this is perfect timing. This stormwater infrastructure improvement project is in the northwest part of the county, in Brown Township and Washington Township, along Elliott Road and Hayden Run Road. The drainage improvement will replace and restore the Joseph Carr ditch petition and stormwater along both roadways. Some of those pipes have been placed over 100 years ago with tiles designed to last only 50 years. And so, if you recall, at the public hearing that you all held on July 15th, this was my top ranking project for American Rescue Plan funding. It is, I think, a perfect project for such, in that it is for stormwater infrastructure improvement. It will serve 3,000 motorists who travel along those roadways, and it will serve at least 140 residents within that watershed by improving the safe operation of their home sewer treatment systems, improving the quality of water of their drinking water wells, and improve farming within the watershed. I realize that today's resolution is not specifically for ARP funding, but I thought it would be a good reminder. Today's resolution is for right-of-way acquisition. It's the 9th report. It includes 2 properties, and those appraisals are based on fair market value. Pending any questions, I request your approval.
If there are no questions, I move for the approval of Resolution 80821.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 80821 has been adopted.
Thank you.
all very much. Enjoy Stormwater Awareness Week.
Thank you.
We will. I'm planning on a celebration at my house, big party
Yeah.
about Stormwater Awareness Week, so everyone's invited.
Most appropriate. Thank you.
Next is the sheriff.
Resolution number 80921, resolution authorizing a transfer of general fund appropriations for the purchase of a replacement dishwasher.
Morning, Commissioners. Dave Masterson, representing Sheriff Dallas Baldwin. This resolution authorizes supplemental appropriations to purchase a new dishwasher for the Jackson Pike facility. The current dishwasher is 12 years old and having mechanical difficulties and breaking down quite often, causing us to use more and more disposable cutlery. Approval of this resolution will allow us to open the purchase order and get the new device purchased and installed. Any questions, I ask approval of this resolution.
If there are no questions, I move for the approval of Resolution 80921.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 80921 has been adopted. Resolution number 81021, resolution authorizing a consulting contract with Michael A. Murphy, Ph.D., for psychological services in the amount of $150,000.
Commissioners, this resolution will approve a 3-year contract with Michael A. Murphy for psychological services to include critical incident debriefs, fitness for duty evaluations, and individual and group counseling sessions depending on our job functions. Most notably ICAC and our homicide unit. Like, as mentioned, it's a 3-year contract. And any questions, we ask your approval.
There are no questions. I move for the approval of Resolution 81021.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 81021 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health Board.
Resolution number 81121. Resolution authorizing non-general fund supplemental appropriations to support mental health, alcohol, and other drug treatment and prevention services.
Morning, Commissioners and Administration. I'm Patrick McLean, CFO for Adam H. Adam H. has received $4,881,750 in federal funding to support behavioral health programs in Franklin County. This resolution seeks appropriation authority for these dollars in order to purchase behavioral health services in calendar year 2021. Of these roughly $4.9 million, approximately $2.6 million is to purchase inpatient stays from 8 local private hospitals, while Twin Valley experiences reduced capacity or closures due to COVID. Approximately $600,000 is for crisis counseling, and approximately $1.8 million is for state opioid response programs spread over 12 providers and 27 programs throughout Franklin County. Sources of these funds are grants from the Department of Homeland Security and the Office of Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services within the Federal Department of Health and Human Services. These funds have been passed through the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services. I'm joined today by Mark Lambert, Senior Finance Director for Adam H. We're happy to provide any more details or answer any questions that you might have.
Was he going to give a briefing?
Here's a sight for sore eyes.
Well, if there are no questions, I move for the approval of 81121.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 81121 has been adopted.
Great, thanks. Next is Public Defender.
Resolution number 81221. Resolution authorizing a transfer of general fund appropriations for the purchase of 2 copiers.
Good morning, Commissioners. Christy Clarizio, representing the Franklin County Public Defender's Office. This resolution is a request to move funds from services and charges to capital outlays for the purchase of 2 new printer copiers. The cost of each machine is $5,272. These printer copiers will be placed near the newly expanded and renovated areas on the 11th floor for us. Pending any questions, I request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no questions, I move for the approval of Resolution 81221.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 81221 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Office on Aging.
Resolution number 81321. Resolution authorizing a non-general fund supplemental appropriation for adult protective services.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Amy Funk, Assistant Director of Administration, and joining me this morning is Director Orville Johns and Caroline Rankin, Assistant Director of Support Services. The COVID-19 pandemic has taken a devastating toll on seniors throughout Franklin County. Social isolation has a negative impact on an older adult's physical and mental health. For those served through the Office on Aging and Adult Protective Services, we have seen more severe cases of exploitation, hoarding, self-neglect, and neglect. Also, for those seniors at risk of losing housing, finding affordable, safe housing can be very challenging. On September 28th, the Board of Commissioners approved an amendment to the subaward agreement between Franklin County Department of Job and Family Services and Franklin County Office on Aging for Adult Protective Services in the amount of $32,153.22. With this additional funding and supplemental appropriation, Office on Aging will provide an educational campaign on financial exploitation to help protect seniors from scams and frauds. The agency will also provide housing coordination support, mental health counseling, and extensive cleaning services for homes where severe hoarding has occurred. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no questions, I move for the approval of Resolution 81321.
Second?
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 81321 has been adopted.
Thank you. Next, economic development planning.
Resolution number 81421. Resolution to adjust the boundaries of the City of Columbus and the City of Whitehall, case number ANX-39-21.
Commissioners, this is Jenny Snap, Assistant Director at Economic Development and Planning. I'm going to go ahead and, it's a little loud where I'm at the dentist office with my son, so I apologize in advance. This resolution is to consider a boundary adjustment to 3.34 acres, more or less, from the City of Columbus to the City of Whitehall. This petition was filed by both the City of Columbus and the City of Whitehall to adjust 3.34 acres of public right-of-way of East Broad Street from Mid-Cliff Drive eastward to the east bank of the Big Walnut Creek. This resolution will adjust the boundaries between the two jurisdictions in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code 709.37. The City of Columbus passed ordinance number 1359-2021 on June 14th, 2021, agreeing to the transfer of the 3.34 acres to the City of Whitehall. The City of Whitehall passed resolution number 023-2021 on September 21st, 2021, agreeing to accept the transfer of land from the City of Columbus. Both ordinances were certified by the Franklin County Commissioners for further proceedings in accordance with Ohio Revised Code 709.37. Petitioning municipalities have met all statutory requirements outlined in section 709.37 of the Ohio Revised Code, and pending any questions, staff request your approval of this petition.
Are there any questions? Hearing none, I move for the approval of Resolution 81421.
Second?
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 81421 has been adopted.
Next is Jobs and Family Services.
Resolution number 81521. Resolution approving a subaward agreement with Southerness for Central Ohio Parent Leadership Training Institute Program in the amount of $50,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Vivian Turner, Assistant Director, Job and Family Services. The Central Ohio Parent Leadership Training Institute is a 21-week leadership program that helps families foster unity and civic engagement while bridging the educational gap to achieve personal goals. The program puts an emphasis on providing parents with social and emotional resources and tools to empower positive parenting, problem solving, and engagement in effective conflict resolution. This isn't about making a value judgment. It's about empowering parents and families. The training focuses on underserved populations and assists them in overcoming academic, social, and emotional challenges with an eye on long-term self-sufficiency. Through this pilot, the Leadership Training Institute will serve 50 families from neighborhoods on the Near East Side, Linden, and the South Side of Columbus. This award aligns with the Rise Together Blueprint Goal number 13. And pending any questions, I request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no questions, I move for the approval of Resolution 81521.
Second?
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 81521 has been adopted. Resolution number 81621. Resolution approving a contract agreement with Access to Interpreters LLC for interpretation and translation services in the amount of $1,450,000.
Commissioners, over the past several decades, Franklin County's new American population has grown significantly, whether through immigration, secondary migration, or refugee resettlement. Under Title VI of the Civil Rights Act, our agency must provide meaningful access to our programs to limited English proficient or LEP customers. We have contracted with an outside provider to meet those federal requirements. In 2019, Access to Interpreters was awarded that contract through a competitive bid process for a one-year term, with options to extend the agreement by 2 additional one-year terms. This is the final extension. Access to interpreters will provide over-the-phone interpretation services, along with scheduled weekly on-site interpretation at each of our 3 opportunity centers. They will also provide document translation services for agency forms and brochures in 4 primary languages, to include Spanish, Arabic, Somali, and Nepali, and others as requested. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this resolution.
Thank you. If there are no questions, I move for the approval of Resolution 81621.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 81621 has been adopted. Resolution number 81721. Resolution approving a subaward agreement with the Educational Service Center of Central Ohio on behalf of the Franklin County Family and Children First Council for trauma-informed care training in the amount of $675,000.
The Franklin County Family and Children's First Council's Building Better Lives initiatives helps educators and other support professionals better understand the impact of adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs, on youth brain development, and designs and applies appropriate trauma-informed interventions for at-risk students. The ultimate goal is to help students foster executive functioning skills needed to succeed academically, attain a high school diploma, and transition successfully to post-secondary education or employment. In the last award period, FCFC trained over 5,500 educators throughout the Southwestern School District. The program reported a 35% decrease in the amount of time spent in out-of-school time suspensions, as just one indicator of progress. The Building Better Lives team also offered training for local nonprofits to help cope with the impact of COVID-19 on youth and reached 1,100 additional community members. With this agreement, FCFC will continue to provide trauma-informed care and youth resiliency training, coaching, and ongoing professional development for approximately 4,200 educators in the Westland High School feeder pattern, and explore the next school district it will bring this training to. This resolution supports goal number 11 of the Rise Together Blueprint, and pending any questions, we request your approval.
Thank you. If there are no questions, I move for the approval of Resolution 81721.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 81721 has been adopted. Resolution number 81821. Resolution approving a subaward agreement with the Ohio Association of Food Banks for the management of work activities as required by the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, Employment and Training in the amount of $730,000.
Commissioners, this last resolution refers to the able-bodied adults without children, or ABODs, who must comply with monthly federal work requirements for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, Employment and Training, in order to receive food assistance benefits. Over the past 8 years, our agency has contracted with the Ohio Association of Food Banks to coordinate and manage allowable work activities under the SNAP ENT Work Experience Program. Over the last contract period, OAF served over 870 work-required residents, conducting individualized assessments and connecting them with job readiness training, virtual work activities, and more. They also help with other barrier removal and referring customers to legal assistance to help prepare these ABOTs for employment. We are once again proposing to enter into an agreement with OAF to continue the coordination and management of the program, as well as developing their network of community-sponsored work sites over the next year. The association will serve an estimated 1,500 work-required ABOT residents, and as the COVID-19 pandemic dictates, they will utilize over-the-phone services for appraisals and afford opportunities for virtual training activities. And pending any questions, we request your approval of this resolution.
Thank you. If there are no questions, I move for the approval of Resolution 81821.
Second.
Moved and seconded in voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 81821 has been adopted.
Thank you and have a wonderful Tuesday.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you. Justice Policy and Programs.
Resolution number 81921. Resolution authorizing a contract renewal with Roger Chapman for peer support and case management services through the FY 2018 Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration Medication Assisted Treatment Grant Program in the amount of $25,000.
Is anyone there from Justice and Policy Programs?
My apologies, Commissioners. This is Director Pride with Justice Policy and Programs, but I don't have this resolution handy, so I apologize. Let me get with my team because it was my impression that they have that.
Okay, we can come back to it if,
Okay.
if you can't, if we've only got a couple more resolutions. If you can't do it, then
Okay.
we can table it for a week if necessary, but we'll come back to you last.
I appreciate you, Commissioner Boyce.
No problem. Next is Public Facilities Management.
Resolution number 82021. Resolution authorizing the county administrator to execute a modification to the contract agreement with Electrical Specialists Incorporated, the Superior Group, to perform additional electrical activities associated with the construction of Franklin County Correction Center in the amount of the contract not to exceed $5,882,641, and authorizing the county administrator to approve and execute additional minor modifications to the contract agreement in the amount of $33,788,479.
Good morning, Commissioners. Darla Reardon, Director of Public Facilities Management. In February of 2018, Electrical Specialist Inc., DBA, the Superior Group, an established local firm, was awarded a contract agreement to perform electrical activities associated with the construction of the new Franklin County Correction Center. TSG is signatory to IBEW Local 683. This resolution authorizes a modification of the contract agreement with the Superior Group to provide all electrical work for various bulletins issued and includes the cost of labor, materials, equipment, and/or general conditions cost as necessary to complete the required scope of work. As you are aware, the Correction Center construction project has an established small and emerging business enterprise, SEBE, aspirational goal of 12%. This project remains on track to exceed the aspirational goal with an SEBE commitment of 29.77%, approximately $86.53 million as of the end of September of this year. Additionally, since electrical work was the largest prime contract awarded, and with this contract modification coming forward, I thought it would be helpful to provide an SEBE update specific to this firm. In 2018, TSG committed to 17.74%, about $4.6 million. As of the end of August of 2021, the confirmed contracted actuals are 39.24%, approximately $10.6 million, and the majority of the SEBE commitment is associated with a local MBE electrical supplier. Pending any questions, PFM respectfully requests your approval of this contract modification with the Superior Group.
If there are no questions, I move for the approval of Resolution 82021.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 82021 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Human Resources.
Resolution number 82121. Resolution authorizing a 3-year contract between Franklin County and CBIZ Benefits and Insurance Services to provide services for Franklin County Cooperative Health Improvement Program in the amount of $287,448.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jody Lease, Assistant Director of Human Resources over Employee Benefits and Wellness. Representing CBIZ this morning is Chip New. Chip is a senior consultant with CBIZ and has been advising Franklin County and the cooperative since its inception in the early 2000s. This resolution approves a 3-year contract with CBIZ. CBIZ provides actuarial consultation, which includes calculation of our annual funding rates, and various financial reports pertaining to the health fund, as well as reports required by the Ohio Revised Code. CBIZ also assesses the risk of any entity requesting to join the cooperative, as well as assists in the evaluation and placement of our stop loss coverage. So pending any questions for Chip or I ask for approval of this resolution.
If there are no questions, I move for the approval of Resolution 82121.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 82121 has been adopted. Resolution 82221. Resolution authorizing a 3-year contract between Franklin County and Optum Rx PBM of Illinois Incorporated to approve pharmacy benefit management for services for members of the Franklin County Cooperative Health Improvement Program in the amount of $849,200.
So this resolution approves a contract as stated with Optum Rx for pharmacy benefit management services. I have several guests joining me this morning. Dave Ty from Finley USI. Dave is a senior consultant with Finley and provided consultation and guidance throughout the RFP and negotiations. Chris Lambrix, Director of Client Management, is representing Optum Rx. And Dave Aldrich, a Senior VP of PBM Contracting and Strategy with Employers Health, is also here this morning. I would also like to recognize the Franklin County Purchasing Department and the Franklin County Prosecuting Attorney's Office for their extensive work on this contract. So this contract presented today is a result of an RFP, or request for proposal, conducted in 2020. The contract utilizes the Employers Health Purchasing Agreement, which provides us with better pricing, expert oversight, and annual audits. More importantly, however, the Employers Health Agreement, Employers Health conducts market checks annually. So while our contract with Optum is a multi-year contract, the market checks that are conducted annually improve the terms of the contract year over year. So the cooperative also retained the flexibility to choose from a host of clinical management programs that really guide our members to better health outcomes. 2 of those programs are the Medication Adherence Program and the Opioid Management Program. The Medication Adherence Program identifies members who may need a little help in taking their medications as prescribed, and its ultimate aim is to reduce the risk for any costly complications due to non-adherence to your medication. So one example of how this program works is the New to Therapy outreach. So members prescribed new medications receive an educational letter that explains the importance of taking their medication as prescribed. And it also offers the ability for the member to sign up for daily medication and monthly refill reminders through Optum Rx's mobile app. The second program is that I want to highlight is the Opioid Risk Management Program. This utilizes multiple touch points, so through the prescriber, through the pharmacy, and also directly to the member, to educate about the potential misuse and abuse of opioids. So one practice is to educate first-time opioid users about the safety concerns about using an opioid, because often if you're new to opioids, you don't realize how addictive they can be in a very short period of time. So the program also, which I think is really a neat aspect, the program also promotes safe disposal of opioids. So Optum Rx provides free medication disposal kits to prevent leftover medications from getting into the wrong hands. So Optum Rx also recommitted to working with our medical and wellness vendors to identify opportunities to collaborate. For example, Optum Rx may direct members that come across their radar to our on-site nurses so that those nurses can speak with the individual about certain chronic health conditions and counsel them about how to best manage their health. So if approved, this contract secures OptumRx as our pharmacy benefit manager through September 30th of 2023, with the option to extend for an additional 3 years. So pending any questions for me or any of my guests, I ask for approval of this resolution.
If there are no questions, I move for the approval of Resolution 82221.
Second.
Moved and seconded in voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 82221 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Next is purchasing.
Resolution number 82321, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $1,265,970.49.
Good morning, Commissioners. Megan Perry Balanier, Director of Purchasing, presenting with Marlise Ryan, Economic Equity Administrator in the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Commissioners, this resolution requests your approval of 86 purchase orders for which the county auditor has pre-certified available funding. And Marlise will share with you the SCB EPO data for this week. Good morning, Marlise.
Good morning, Megan. Good morning, Commissioners. This week we have for your approval 10 out of 27 eligible purchase order presented up to award to 6 women business enterprise, 3 SCBEs, and 1 minority business enterprise, totaling $448,374.55, which equates to 37% of the eligible purchase order value and 87% of the purchase order dollar value. The following agencies have increased supplier diversity within Franklin County: Public Facilities Management, Data Center, Prosecuting Attorney's Office, Court of Common Pleas, Domestic Relations and Juvenile Court, Clerk of Court, the Sheriff's Office, and Public Defender.
Commissioners, pending any questions, we respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
Thank you. Hearing no questions, I move for the approval of Resolution 82321.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution 82321 has been adopted.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
All right, let's go back to Justice Policy and Programs. Is Director Pride, are you, what do you want to do? You want a table for a week, or are you ready?
Commissioner Boyce, we are actually good to go. We have Ms. Caitlin Looney with our office on to do the resolution. Thank you so much.
Okay, please proceed, Ms. Mooney. Is she there?
She's there, she's speaking, but no one can hear her.
Can you hear
Oh.
me now?
Oh,
Sorry.
we can hear you now. There you go.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Caitlin Looney with the Office of Justice Policy and Programs, and we apologize for the delay. This resolution is requesting authorization for a 1-year contract renewal with Roger Chapman to provide peer support and case management to services through our 2018 SAMHSA grant in the amount of $25,000. Mr. Chapman has worked with our agency since 2020 as a peer support specialist and has significant experience working with this population. He's an integral part of our Rapid Resource Center operating out at the Jackson Pike facility. He works non-traditional hours during some of our highest walk-in volume times to facilitate resource linkage for those being released from custody. And with that, I'm available for any questions.
Hearing no questions, I move for the approval of Resolution 81921.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution 81921 has been adopted.
All right, that concludes our regular agenda, I believe. Do we have any journalizations?
No, we do not, Commissioner.
Okay.
We do
All right.
have one left from
Yep.
the Board of
I know,
Commissioners.
for the
Yep.
executive session?
Yep, that's correct.
Mhm.
Resolution number 82421, resolution of the Franklin County Board of Commissioners to convene into executive session to confer with the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office concerning pending or imminent litigation.
I move to convene into executive session to confer with an attorney for the public body concerning disputes involving the public body that are the subject of pending or imminent court action.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution 82421 has been adopted to move into executive session.
And this as we break, did you have any questions for us, man?
I got one.
Yeah. Sorry, I should have did that before we concluded.
Quickly. I wasn't here when you announced it, but your vaccine testing requirements kicked in yesterday. I was just curious if you could reiterate why you decided to go the requirement route, and from what you've seen so far, is it having